So let's have a look at how we add a new client and some of the information that is important to capture when you pop them on in Get Booked Up Professional Plus Edition. The top right hand corner of the screen is a button that says New Client. If we click that, it opens a new client record. And the layout's been designed to sort of guide you through the information that you need to capture when you put a new client on. So you notice the first box that's there is the inquiry source, and there's two questions in there. Where did you first hear about us is the first one. So let's say that that was a referral. If we click in there and choose the referral. But then it's important that we also ask the second question, where did you actually get our telephone number from today? So that may be that they've had a leaflet and that's prompted them to give you a call. Now the reason that's important is obviously if you want to track what's actually working and where clients are getting your telephone number from and what revenue you're actually generating from your leaflets, you need to ask those two questions. So with those two out of the way, then you can move on to the name and address details. We've got a drop down box here, so I'm going to put my details on here. So we've got Mr. Alan Simmons, and then the space for a business name there if you wish. I'm going to put the Den, and that's at 29 Pennine Drive, and that's in Thorn, Doncaster. Okay, so we've got the name and address details entered in there. If at this point the client gives you some directions, we can hit the Add Directions button, and that'll take us through to the Directions tab. So you can see the tab here at the top, Directions. So if they tell us it's next to the post box, we can add that into here, and that's then carried through onto the standard reports that the system generates. And then we go back to the Address tab here. Also, if you wanted to view this on Google Maps, you'd be able to click the View Address on Maps, and that will take you through to Google Maps, and you'll be able to go down to Street View if necessary, and you can check that there's access for things like truck mount and things like that. The other thing that we allow you to capture in this edition is telephone numbers and emails, so we can take a home number, and we can also type in here as well, so that there's free text in there as well, so you can put in X directory, and the system will actually strip that out when you do a search for telephone numbers. Okay, I could put a work number in there as well if I wanted, and then we leave space for a mobile as well. Okay, and also emails. We try to capture an email address, so it's obviously we can pop that in here. And then the other essential information we need before we move on is we set the pricing area. In this edition it's fixed as local. The trade name will also be fixed in this professional edition as well as whatever your license agreement was completed as. And then we can choose from the client type. So we've got a drop down list here of domestic, commercial, insurance, landlord, or are they a tenant. So I can click domestic. Now what you'll notice here as well, that it's flagging up the email address. So the system's recognised that there's something not quite right with the email address. So I can go back and complete that there. So if you ever see a green field appear on the system, that's usually that the data in there is not quite valid. A couple of other boxes on here as well. We've got private comments and public comments. The private comments are comments that you don't want the client to know that you know. So perhaps they're a little difficult when they have this job done, and the public comments are the things that you don't mind them knowing that you know. So perhaps they've got a dog called Benji or something like that, so you can put public comments in there. If at any point you decide you want to cancel adding this new client, there's a button here, Cancel Add New Client. That'll just completely scrap everything and take you back to the front screen. Once you've completed all this information on here, we can click the Next, and that'll take you through to what we call our main detail screen. And this main detail tab here will be where the client record opens each time you open the client record after the first being created. So when you're adding a new client, you might not be able to add any more of this detail here, but certainly we've got things like in this edition we can give the client a second client type if you like. So in this one you can customize this caption here that says grade. Some of our users categorize their customers as grade A, B or C. They may use a star rating, so you could change the caption here to star rating and then put 1 star, 2 star, etc. in here. Also, if you're going to be using the truck mount, we allow you to choose this in here, and also we allow you to add your own reference as well, so that could be just any free text that you wish to enter in there. Now if the client obviously says I don't mind giving you my telephone number or my email address, but I don't want any sales calls, and I don't want you to email me any sales materials. You can put a tick in these boxes here, and then put a reason in there, requested none. So that just allows you to comply with the Data Protection Act. So that's it, adding your new client into the client record. That's the basic information and details that we hope you capture to be able to use the system fully.